This should be the last video. If this doesn't work, we're done. The night's over if this doesn't work. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Brant Jean, let some people join in. Horrible night for me. Sorry about tonight's mistakes. And we'll see if we can get some somebody to call in. I'll share the number in a minute. Let's see.
I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask him, he will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes.
That was deep. And when I saw that. Oh, I didn't notice she was saying something in his ear. I wonder what she was saying. You think that's cringy? I thought it was really deep. I don't know when I saw that. I wanted to ask you guys about forgiveness. Was this a good thing that he did? Would you have done that?
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
No, don't go to their channel. Just stay on Naked Mo. What a crazy trial, huh? I think the trial was 8 days or something like that. Deliberation. The first deliberation for the murder charge took like 6 hours. And then the deliberation for the sentencing was super fast, an hour and a half. In terms of like trial and courts and stuff like that, that is really fast. They're saying now they're launching internal affairs because of Rivera, the person that she was texting. I think I messed up tonight's stream. I think I started so many streams tonight that YouTube hasn't pushed out my streams anymore. There was a lot of people pissed off. I saw people screaming, cursing. Reaction to the 10 years. Let's check this out, Fox.
Do you love boating?
What do you guys think about the 10-year sentence? Should she be forgiven?
You need to check out Freedom Boat.
Is it appropriate?
For us, we will never receive the equal justice that we deserve. And all of us are here We're here today because we want to make changes. 10 years is not enough. Both
That's
in
true.
John's life matter. And when there is no justice, it should never be any peace. It should never be.
We stand here as a community outraged because we have saw
Texas is
many
upset.
times in this
Texas is mad.
courtroom, people who take lives, people who do many things. But when it comes to a black person, when it comes to a black person,
I'm gonna show her
injustice
social media.
in this system, this is what we see continuously. 10 years, many people say, oh yeah, we haven't saw this before, different things of that nature. But is 10 years enough for a life being taken? Is it 10 years? Is 10 years enough for what this family has to fill in the gap the rest of their lives?
That's what I was thinking.
Both them was a uncle, a son, a brother. He was many things to many people. All I can say is that I will limit my words, and you guys will see my words in every full force tonight at 6:30 on the courthouse steps.
6:30.
Yeah, I think they're doing like
This is
I think they're doing a prayer service tonight or something for both of them at the.
what we have to break down. We have to continue to make sure, and we just send our prayers out to this John family, for we know that this hurt, our hurt as a community, is for this family, because we know that this family is really hurt. Really hurt. Why give them murder conviction and give them 10 years? That's just a slap in the face of injustice. And at the end of the day, hey, we gotta organize. So I asked all of Dallas to come join us at 6:30 at the Frank Crowley courthouse steps.
I guess they're gonna protest. I wanted to show. I had a clip. Oh, this was Botham John's after the mother after the sentencing.
Is Botham Jean's mom? Is that it? Okay, Botham Jean's mom's about to talk.
Fantastic.
Where's
Country.
that? Download it.
Change my church. And I know that there are many people.
Oh, we got a caller. Hold on. I think this might be the first caller. Let's see if it works. Somebody. Hello?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for calling in. Holy crap. It's the first call.
Oh, no problem. I got to call and talk about this stuff. Man, you know what? The media, they pick and choose what stories to promote and what stories get national attention. It's like there's so many murders, so many crimes, so much crazy shit happening. There's 350 plus million people in the United States. But these media, they take these hot topic issues, these sensitive topics and stuff like that, and they promote them, they push them, and they create division. They only highlight which ones they want to talk about, which one's going to create controversy.
That's true.
It's a real shame. Like, you know what I mean? You know how much crime and stuff's going on? But for whatever reason, this story and other stories like this, they get national news media, national attention, and I think it's just a big problem.
So where do you
with
think
media.
the coverage should be going? Or what are they not covering?
There's so much, I don't know exactly what they should and what they shouldn't. I think they should be covering Ashkenazi Jewish bankers destroying the currency. They could be covering that, but you know they ain't
Who's
gonna do
destroying the
that.
country?
Ashkenazi Jewish bankers.
Oh snap! We're talking about the Jewish people. Uh oh. Get the stream shit
no.
done.
Specifically the Ashkenazis.
I don't even know what that is.
Them and that's just a race. They're like Jews that come from Europe, and
Oh,
they're all
okay.
freaking real. They worship Satan, and they could talk about the filthy media. Have you ever heard the show Big Mouth? It's on Netflix.
No, never heard of Big Mouth. I do have Netflix though.
Oh man, it's just pure Satan worship. It's like these children. They're going through puberty, and they're kind of like it's supposed to be a comedy about just vulgarity, vulgar. They mock Jesus Christ in it. And one of the episodes, like, I wish Jesus was in my vagina. It's like they should be talking about that. Like the media should be saying, oh, look at this show on Netflix mocking Jesus Christ. They would never say something like that. They should be bringing up Hollywood, all the degenerate pedophiles and fucking the filthy stuff coming out of there. They should be covering that, but instead they want to talk about stuff like this. They talk about this hot button, hot topic, sensitive issues, and it gets national media attention. It gets everyone fighting. It's really messed up. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that I think that there's a lot. Somebody said he's right, but he'll get the channel shut down. Hang up. HP2N said that. I think that the media does work like that. I do agree with you. Like, I mean, I think this story does deserve a lot of attention. It's pretty like, it's kind of unheard in terms of like a cop accidentally going to the wrong house. I mean, she was off duty. But aside from this, I think there is a lot of cases that doesn't get media attention, that the media a lot of times plays the race baiting, the race issue. I mean, you can see how the way they word things in the titles, and if it's the other way around, or if it's white on white, or like they don't really, or even black on black, or the Chicago shootings that goes on every other weekend, where there's basically like mass murders every other weekend. It doesn't really get the attention. Yeah, I think the media is playing a game, but it's almost like what we all are. But there really is a lot of people that don't get the attention that they should, or the coverage and all that stuff they need. But this one, I mean, what did you think about the charge? The 10 years. First of all, do you even think she should have got murder? Should have been manslaughter, or what are your feelings on that?
I'm really not too familiar with the details.
Oh, okay.
I just know she murdered the dude, and from what it sounds like she messed up big time. It sounds like it was a man, I don't know. I don't know the details, but from what I hear, it looks like it was her fault. She messed up. So right. I don't see a problem, man. I feel like you murder someone, you better pay the price, man. You better know for sure. You pull that trigger. That little girl, she shouldn't have been in a power position. That's why the cops should be fucking athletes. They should be fucking straight savages, but they're smart savages. You know what I mean? There should be no overweight cops and like old ass cops or female cops. That's way they don't have to rely on someone pulling the trigger. And that's the problem. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Especially being the first caller. At least I know it works.
Hey, man, my last point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you said this case. I think there's a lot of cases like this. There's a lot of like crazy shit that goes out there in the world. Maybe not exactly like this, but there's cases that are crazy. Like there's so much crime and stuff going on, murders, but they do seem to highlight just the ones they want to. But I'll leave it at that. And I just taking my call.
All right, man. Thanks for calling. What's your name? Your first name, or if you want to give an alias.
Kevin from Chicago.
All right, man. Thanks. Oh, Chicago. Oh, nice. All right. Thanks for calling in, dude.
Yep.
All
right, man. Take it easy.
You too. Whoa, that's interesting. I feel weird. The first caller. I thought he was gonna go ham too. I mean, he was all right. He was a cool guy. Get a drink and get on his level. Oh man, maybe Friday nights we could do something. I wanted to pull up a video and I can't find it. I'm trying to find it. I had the whole video from yesterday downloaded that I wanted to play for you guys, and it's like disappeared because I wanted to go over the part where they were showing her social media and the text messages, and I thought that was really gonna nail her. but apparently they didn't seem too bothered by that or something. Because what was the strangest thing is that they charged murder, which I thought it was gonna be manslaughter. So because they went with murder, I'm like, damn, these people they're gonna go with a higher sentencing, and then they went with 10 years. And then yesterday, all the people, the Lee Merritt and all the activists and all of them came out and they were saying, thank God, and this is a step in the right direction. So they got all their hopes up, and then today they got shut down, just like that. Shut down. Oh, I know how to find it. I know how to find it. Let's go. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so let me skip ahead. This was yesterday's. If you haven't seen I really wanted to download today's testimonies because it was really good. But yesterday's, I wanted to take you guys back to this part with the text. Right around here. Let me open you guys up here. Oh, you can, and if you want to call in, if somebody wants to call in, you can call in just to share your thoughts about the sentencing, Amber Guyger. You know, the judge was hugging Amber Guyger at one point after the brother came. Oh, right here. You know if you can hear that clearly too. Oh, let me turn it up. Desktop audio.
Contains an extraction of the defendant's cell phone, and these are text messages from January 15, 2018 at the MLK parade. Text message sent to the defendant asked, "Are you working this parade?" Other messages came in from the defendant. "Yes. Grandsons are on the other side if she can get through." Other message, "Where's Justin's number? Can you ask him if he told this lady?"
So I'm curious, with this part with the MLK thing, were you guys offended by that?
Message sent to the defendant, "When does this end? LOL."
Okay, here it is.
Outgoing message from the defendant, "When MLK is dead, ... Oh wait, ... Incoming message says, "Ha."
You know what the thing is about the Texas thing too, that whole situation was the jury, right? Because a lot of people were saying, what was so interesting to me is that the judge did this, not the judge, the jury did the sentencing. So they picked the charges and then they deliberated, whatever. Then they came back and then they also did the sentencing. So it's not like they could go and say like, this is the judge, this is whoever. Literally the community, the jurors, which are mostly black and Hispanic, and I heard it was rumored to be like 2 white people, they chose this. Your own community, Texas chose this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the jury chose the charges and then the judge went and made a decision on the sentencing. Those people in there in that community chose that. You know? What made you think the judge was not professional? I heard there was a couple of things. Because there was a judge that was watching, and the judge that was watching Tammy Kemp, I think that's her name, Tammy Kemp, he was watching her, and he said that he wouldn't have done some of the things that she did, but that she did a good job. I was surprised when she was hugging Amber Guyger. See, the problem with that joke is only funny if you're white and you think dead black man is funny. It's not a funny joke. Well... Yeah, I mean, it could be an offensive joke. It depends. You could really get offended by that. I mean, they use this in context to try to put her as a not liking black people. So that's why she, killed him. There was this, and then there was
incoming message. She's not very.
Here's the other part where she referenced in the text messages about a dog. Do you know what you need? A German Shepherd. I have one for you. She's not very smart. She'll love you. Is it your dog? No, it's not your dog, although she may be racist. I wish I could have one, but not in this apartment. Small one. It's okay. I'm the same. I hate everyone. I hate everything. So they use that against her. I think the reason they came with the murder charge is because Amber Guyger said Amber Guyger said in one of the when she was under testimony, she said that she intentionally shot to kill him. I think that's why they went with the murder charge. I think if it wasn't for that, they would have gotten her for manslaughter and then the 10 years. I think Amber's last character witness made a huge difference. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Amber's, let me see if I can pull it up. Oh man, I'm feeling like crap right now. Tonight's gonna be a short stream because I really screwed up earlier. I sent out like 5 live streams. It was horrible. I really messed everything up tonight, but at least it ended off where we were able to test the call-in. Amber Guyger. Maybe FAA. Yeah, they hugged. Let's see here at the end. This was this testimony.
Yes, each and every one of us.
Talking to Amber, I just
The
don't
judge,
think I've ever
I'll
seen.
mute it for now. This is the judge talking to Amber. I believe it was rumored that she gave Amber Guyger a Bible. So, and honestly, I was thinking about this. This testimony that Botham's brother made, I was thinking too earlier, like, what Botham want out of this? The type of guy that he was. I think his brother, and he's young. You know what I'm saying? He's young. You can't kind of fault him for this. This was really big that he did forgive her. He even said that I don't think Amber should do any jail time. That's what he said. I was like, oh, snap. He said, I don't think Amber should do any jail time. Ruth said letting the castle doctrine in, the judge oh, that's true. That is true. Not only that, because we were talking about what did the judge do that people didn't like. Amber not handcuffed, letting the castle doctrine in. That was true. The castle doctrine is what Texas considers stand your ground. So a lot of people found that controversial because she came into the wrong apartment. So how can she stand her own ground in somebody else's apartment? But they brought it in because they were trying to apply it from her state of mind or her point of view or whatever, which was just crazy. The other thing too was something today called sudden. Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me. It was called sudden emotion, sudden something, sudden passion. Sudden passion. So the judge let that go in too today for Amber Guyger, which would have reduced it to like ironically enough, I think it was 5 or 10 years, and that's what she got anyway. But the jury didn't consider that. They looked at it and they didn't. Texas law defines, let's do it right here. Texas law defines sudden passion as a directly caused by arising out of provocation. And the problem with that is that, both of them didn't do anything to provocate her. During the reading of the sentence, Kemp said jury found that the defendant did not cause the death of Botham Jean while under intimidation of influence of sudden passion. So it's like she did kind of like give them or Amber multiple opportunities and multiple things in the system to use, which the jury didn't take any of it. And this is where they were hugging. They had a really emotional time there. What else? Oh, let me show you this. What we were talking about earlier. This is what I think really helped that Amber. This is the best testimony that was on her side. Oh, somebody's calling. All right, we'll take this call while I look for that. Second caller. Hello?
Is this a live show?
This is the live show. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was just calling in to give a little commentary and opinion about Amber Guyger.
Thanks. Thank you for calling. You're the second caller. I had a really rough night tonight, so my apologies, but thank you for calling in. What did you want to share?
Yes, I appreciate it. I first want to say, I don't want to ignite any type of hate or rhetoric, but a lot of us that are awakened, we already knew that this was going to happen. I mean, how many times do we have to see these type of things play out before we at least get the hint that people that are non-white get treated a different way? Another issue I wanted to bring up, it's I wouldn't use the word fear because, like I said, I like to look at myself as a spiritual, conscious person, but it really raises the questions with non-white Americans. Will any of us, be subject to our door kicked in at any time, and they can use a sleazy defense as an accident and get away with it? That's another issue. Another issue I wanted to bring up with the young man and some of the sympathy that a lot of people saw in the court with the young brother. I do not blame him. He's young.
Right.
But like I said, I like to look at myself as a spiritual and conscious person, and to offer. It's almost. I'm going to compare it to. Have you ever heard the Jews say they forgive Hitler?
No, I don't think I've ever heard that.
Genocide, you haven't. And I am, like I said, I'm not igniting hate or anything, but these are fundamental laws in life and art of war and things like this that, and strategies maybe we can use in the future to help us, protect ourselves, so to speak, because I do believe that our people are they're committing genocide. I've been a victim, and many people have been a victim. The third thing I like to say is the judge and the deputy stroking Amber Guyger's hair. That's ridiculous. Did we see the Central Five getting hugs and they were exonerated? Never in history have you seen this, and I want our people to pay attention to this because I like to call it code. Right now, if anything we can do to protect ourselves is to learn the code, how they follow it, how they do things, and how they will continue to do things. You've never seen nothing like that. Yes, it looks like the Twilight Zone. Your eyes are not fooling you because it's a code. Been taking place. And I didn't want to take up too much time. I appreciate your show. I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. I'm very disappointed, not surprised, but I'm really tired of the same old talks with, non-whites are doing wrong to cause this. We got to, secure ourselves economically. And, it's always our fault. So I'm really looking for you to bring this topic to a different, energy to more like help us. I know a lot of us ask for that, but like I said, I follow you, and I'm really looking to see this topic brung from a different angle. I'm tired of the same old, what we're not doing right as non-whites, why this keep happening, religion. I want to take all that out, and I want to create a discussion of a think tank to help us protect ourselves, since we know genocide is going to continue with non-whites in America. Thank you so much for
Thanks. You sound familiar, too. Sound like I've heard you before. But
my first time calling this,
okay.
Like I said, I've suffered injustices in my own family. My brother served 28 years for wrestling with someone that was trying to shoot him, and the police choked him. Instead, he committed suicide. And, it's not just about my brother. How many stories as black Americans and brown Americans and even white people, I feel like racism is primitive. Anyone that is spiritual and really have reached a conscious level, we have advanced and evolved so high, we shouldn't even be dealing with these issues. But because all humans are not on that wavelength, we do. So it's a problem we have to deal with. And like I said, this story just... you get tired of the same old story. I just want to speak out and hopefully touch a percentage of people to, like I said, create some healthy discussions about this and to truly protect us, because mainly that's my main focus. This case really have scared me. Any of us. I found myself today after reading this, I keep my grandchildren. I said, lock the door. I don't want my grandchildren are in the living room to come in here and shoot them.
I'm
a law-abiding citizen. I'm not a radical. I like to consider myself a balanced person. But it's just, in an unbalanced world, it just, seems like, a waste.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing that. You know, too, when this story first happened, not while everything was going on, there was another story too. I was talking about the other day. As this happened, there was another home that was the cops got the wrong address on a search warrant, and they busted into this guy's house. He had his daughter home, but he was armed. So he started shooting back at the cops. Somehow he made it out alive. He sent one of those cops to the hospital. But things like this could happen more. This was a really unique case, I think, but you know, other
Right.
people say it happens all the time in
Right.
different kind of ways.
It does in different scenarios, just like you explained to me just now. And I wonder what the fate of this man that escaped and with his life being intruded in his own home, I wonder what penalty he's going to face. And I'm not happy with the jury, and I'm tired of the same old programmed answers stating, oh, we believe in our jury, we believe in the system. But this system, anyone, no matter what color they are, if you look at it, has never been fair. But other countries and other people are watching us, and, you know, like I said, it really disheartens me to see that we have so many people on such a low dimension to still involve themselves, no matter what color you is, in any type of hate against any human.
Well said. Thank you so much for calling. That was deep.
All right, have a good night.
All right, you too. Thanks. So that was the second caller. I'm new to this. That was a really interesting call. She sounds familiar too, like I've seen her. I don't know if I know her, but you know what I wanted to say too when I was thinking about that her conversation and the conversation of race and all that. And no, I'm not an expert. Some people consider me black, some people don't. I'm Dominican, and Dominicans, they have a history too of like slavery and mixing and some whatever. I don't even know anymore. But you know, I've noticed that some people, they go to the extreme, especially into like tribalism. I'm not into tribalism myself, but you see like some of the white people, the extreme people doing it. There's people that are black, I think, doing it. Even Latino, the Mexican gangs. Those people in Mexico, bro, they kill each other like crazy. I was reading this story about, I forgot exactly which. There was just literally like a grave of bodies. Like those people kill each other on a massive level, like just nuts. And people are kind of reverting back to, it seems like tribalism. You know, like into the little groups and becoming more violent. It almost seems like a civil war is gonna break out. Stickley, what's up? How you doing? I had 2 callers tonight. It was pretty interesting. This caller was upset with the sentencing, the 10-year sentencing. She was upset with the judge. She was right too. What this caller said, that the judge came out and like hugged Amber. That was something that even the news station was saying was never seen before. She came out, she hugged her, gave her a Bible or something, and the judge too, from what I hear. And I actually want to go back to making some dedicated videos because there's a lot to this case to unpack, and I want to make the dedicated videos to do it piece by piece because that's how I usually do it. Because even I got some emails, some of the people that were testifying, the cops, with a really shady history. One guy that got into a car accident, killed somebody, and he never got a ticket or never got charged. I can't remember his name right now. I'd have to pull it up. There was a lot of characters in this story that are kind of crooked. That's where they're doing that open investigation. The cop that was sexting Amber, the cop that, a good point that Lee Merritt brought up, I think it was Lee Merritt, hey Darkstar, was that the fact that Amber Guyger deleted the text message in Snapchat, that should be considered tampering with evidence. That's another charge they could have stacked. You know. So what I wanted to show you too, this is the testimony I believe kind of saved Amber partially. One of the big ones was this lady here. First of all, did you see Amber Guyger's mother? And Amber Guyger's mother was the first one to testify. This was in the punishment. Amber Guyger's mother said that Amber Guyger was abused, molested as a child. Let me play this, a little clip of it.
And Amber was the youngest.
So you have just 3 children, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did Amber grow up?
In Arlington, Texas.
That's her mother.
Were all 3 kids fathered by the same man?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's his name?
Bill O'William.
And are y'all still together?
No.
How old about was Amber when you and Bill separated?
I guess when she was about 5 or 6.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Guyger, I'm going to show you 2 photographs that have been marked as defense exhibits, number 95 and 96. Are those photos of your 3 kids?
There's
in
another problem
95,
too with
and a
mothers
photo
and
of
stuff.
family in 96.
The mothers that
Yes.
you know, things don't work out with the husband or whatever, boyfriend, the father of the child. So then they start dating, and that person that they're dating abuses the child on multiple occasions.
Show you defense 95. Who is on the left here in this photo?
That's Alana.
And how old is she
Sisters.
now?
She's 38.
Years old. Were you dating somebody?
Here, there.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall his name?
Joe.
Is that Joe Ortiz?
Yes, ma'am.
Joe Ortiz.
Would he stay at your house on occasion?
Yes, ma'am.
On February 25th, 1995, Amber would have been 6 years old, is that right?
Approximately. Yes, yes, ma'am.
On
Yes,
that
ma'am.
morning, did you learn that Joe had been sexually molesting her?
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. No. Yeah, Sweet Tea said it doesn't explain her being a murderer. Yeah, the only point of that was just to, what they did here was try to humanize her. So her mother was on the stand, and then her sister was on the stand. they look kind of weird to me. I don't know. This was a black officer that used to work with her. Well, not really work with her. They were in the police academy, and they became friends. So she was testifying on Amber Guyger's behalf. The interesting thing about Kathy here is at one point during the testimony, Kathy says, Amber Guyger is the type of person to put others before herself. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, that was a bad line to put in there. You know what I'm saying? Because after everything that's gone on with the CPR and the sternum rub, this was another person that testified. All these testimonies to me were kind of crap. And then came, let me see, a friend of hers. This one was okay. Maribel Chavez, she started crying. They should have just started with her. They could have left out her mother and the sister. They didn't really do any good to me. This was another friend of hers. And this was the big one that I think saved Amber. Could have potentially saved her from getting more time.
Do you know Amber Guyger?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
throughout
snap,
your
Dana!
adulthood, have you struggled with a crack cocaine addiction?
I have.
In May of 2017, how was it that you came to know Amber Guyger?
I was at a drug house that day, and the police came and made us all come out. And I didn't see Amber as a policewoman that day, as a policeman at all. I saw Amber as a human being. You know, she kept coming to me, and she told me, she said, you don't fit the profile. You know, she said, what are you doing here? You know, and she came back to me several times, you know, saying things similar to that. In other words, she let me know that I mattered. You know, that she just didn't see me as an addict, you know. And as time went on, you know, and it ended up that day, and she wrote the ticket. She said, now you can do one or two things with this ticket. She said, you can either continue on the road that you're on, or you can let this be your ticket out. And that's what I chose to do.
So that day, how
how many people were in that house.
What do you guys think about this testimony? I think this one was one of the big ones for her that pulled her, that saved her time, because this lady supposedly got saved by Amber.
And before the police arrived, were y'all all using drugs?
Yes.
You say that Amber mentioned y'all got tickets, and she talked about this ticket is either two things you can do, either keep using drugs or use it as a ticket for life to start over.
Right.
So y'all got issued Class C tickets, is that right?
Right.
And that was for drug paraphernalia that was visible to the officers? Is that right?
That's right.
And where did you have to go with that ticket?
With that ticket, I went to the South Dallas Community Court, where they had a program set up. And I had like so many tickets. My life had become a disaster. So I started the program there, and I started to live again. I did my IOP, I did my SOP, and
So you guys probably saw all this, right? There's actually another clip that I wanted to show you today that is probably going to be really offensive to you guys. If you've seen this clip, let me know, and then I'll move on to the next thing. Or if you want me to keep playing it, you can listen to the clip. It was, oh my God. You'll probably be upset. Jesse Lee Peterson. I gotta play his clip. It is irrelevant. All they're doing is just trying to, and I guess their strategy worked. Because, oh, you gotta check out this guy.
I want to give you an example of, I have been saying over and over.
Maybe that's Dana. We'll see.
Call from.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey, this sounds like Dana. How you doing?
Good. Okay, so you have this type of phone set up.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just set it up today. So
Oh, you did?
yeah, I had a rough time getting everything started. Yo, everybody go check out Dana's channel, The Real Dana. She does live streams and talks on different topics, controversial stuff, I think.
Thanks for that, for the plug. You don't do blog. You should look into Blog Talk.
What is it called?
Blog Talk.
Blog Talk. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you. So what are your thoughts?
You know what? I like what you're doing, and I love what you did with the little girl that was kidnapped and murdered.
Thanks.
And in the series you did with that, and you did a really good job. But as far as this case, I mean, it's shocking, but it's not. Like, I don't know. I don't think black people, like, we're upset because we're so used to seeing that. Just black people being forgiving in a situation like this. This whole, and I do think people are surprised because this took place in Texas, and she only got 10 years. And Texas is a Republican state, and they're hard on their sentencing, especially when it comes to murder, because remember the black man that was dragged in back of the pickup truck by the two white racist men?
Somebody brought that up to me today. Yeah.
Yeah, then they sentenced the white guys to the death penalty?
I don't know.
Or did they just get life in prison? But it was a harsh, penalty, and rightfully so. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. And people thought she was going to get off, but I don't know. I just think this is the time for particularly black people to just start realizing, what we need to do to just change our situation. And it sounds like silly, or it's not silly, but it sounds like redundant saying organizing, but we do need to organize more. We do need to support each other more. And yeah, I don't know. It's just,
no, that's
people
true.
shouldn't be shocked.
Well, it seems like we tear down each other a lot too, like crazy. But the jury too, because I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought like the jury was mostly, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was mostly like minority. I think it was like, I don't know, 6 black people, whatever,
Right.
Hispanic, and I think it was like 2 white people from what I heard. So
Yeah.
the interesting thing to me about this, not only did the jury select the sentencing, because when they went for murder, I was a little surprised because I really thought they were going to go for manslaughter from the things that I saw. But they went for murder, so I was like, oh wow. I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're serious or whatever they're feeling. So when they came down, and I was telling myself not to get too like amped up because I saw some of the community leaders, as soon as they said murder, they were jumping up. Oh, this is a step in the right direction. Everybody's getting excited. And then today, you hear 10 years, and it's like, wow. I mean, I was surprised. A lot of people, like you're saying, it's not
Wait,
surprising.
so who came up with the 10-year sentence?
That was the jury, believe it or not.
The,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
they could do that? I thought the judge was supposed to do that.
In most states, the judge does it. For Texas, they have this thing where the defendant can pick to do that. They can go that route to have the jury decide their sentencing. So Amber Guyger, and they have to do it before it starts. Amber Guyger decided to go that route. So, yeah, the jury decided the 10 years. It's pretty crazy. And
Oh, wow.
yeah. There was a lot of like
They shoulda-
unprecedented things
You know
that
what?
happened.
They should have gave her, because life in prison is really 25 years, and they should have gave her at least 20 or 25. They should have gave her that.
That's what I was thinking. Some people were thinking they were going to go for like a 20-year mark because at one point, the prosecution, when they were talking to the jury, like in the closing statements, they were saying, because Botham, I think he was turning 28. I don't know if he died when he was 28 or he was turning 28 because his birthday just passed on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. So they were saying, don't, you at least go for 28. Like, don't give anything under 28 years. That's the least that you can do. And I guess that didn't affect them because they went for the 10 years. Some people didn't like the judge either too because the judge tried to have she allowed, in Texas they call self-defense something else. It's called
Castle Doctrine or something?
Castle Doctrine. Yeah, she let that into play. So a lot of people didn't like that she did that because it's like stand your ground where somebody comes into your property.
Yeah, but the police department of Dallas, they backed her for district judge. So, she was already connected with them. But when I saw the pictures of the brother hugging Amber, I'm like, you know what? The first thing that came to my head was, because I wasn't surprised because black people have a habit of doing that. But I was like, something went on between the guy who was killed and Amber that no one is not going to reveal. And I think the family don't want it to come out.
You
Maybe
think
they
so?
were in a relationship. I mean, she was still wrong for shooting him,
Right.
But he hugged her too easily and too tightly, like,
It was a
very
tight,
familiar with
long
her.
hug. It was a tight, long hug. Embraced her.
Right.
At one point, he even said, "I don't even think she should do any time. Like if it was up to him."
That's what I'm saying. It's something. She knew his family. I think she knew the family. I think she's very familiar with, what's his name, the guy that was killed?
Botham Jean.
Botham?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was very familiar with, coming into his apartment. I think she's familiar with his family, the way they were hugging. She was hugging her brother. So, and I don't know.
She
I
whispered
think it's one
something.
story that we don't know.
Yeah, she was whispering something into his ear too when I looked at the video again tonight. And I was like, I wonder what she's telling him in his ear. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's something that we will probably never know, and they kept that out. I don't know, but it's something else going on with that situation. But why they had that crackhead up on the?
Oh my God, Dana. She actually did
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, don't tell me I lost
Wait, I
Dana.
can't hear you. What you saying?
Can you hear me now?
Wait, the phone is breaking up.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear me
now
now?
I can hear you.
Okay. I was dying
I don't know.
laughing.
It sounds okay. Now it sounds fine.
Okay, I was dying laughing. Let me know if it goes out. Hopefully it's okay.
No, it's like she's still a crackhead. She don't have no teeth. Yeah, she don't have no teeth, and she's like, she saved my life, but she looks like she's still smoking crack. They cleaned her up just so she could come get on the stand.
I'm thinking
A hot mess.
I think my
She had a
connection is acting
crackhead
up.
defend her.
Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yeah, hopefully it's not mine. Hello?
Okay, no, I think it's me.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me ask you this: did you actually
Hello?
see? Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh man.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yep, I hear you. Let me test out the connection.
Hello?
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, so I didn't. Yeah, I can hear you, but I didn't see that until I just saw you play that. Listening.
okay,
I'm like
okay.
a hot mess.
She actually had a really nice story. She was saying that like she was a drug addict and that there was like a drug bust and Amber came in with a bunch of other cops and she chose her out of the other people, I guess. And when she wrote her the ticket, she's like, you could take this and continue to do drugs or you could change your life. So the lady went and supposedly changed her life. And that's how she came into play with this. And
Wait a minute. So nobody else didn't get a ticket except for her.
I don't know. They didn't specify if other people got a ticket or not, but
That don't even make sense.
Amber Guyger showed up to her. I mean, I was thinking something crazy, like what if they paid her like off the street? I was just thinking that out in the back of my head, but she went to her graduation though. There was like a picture.
Watching her parade,
Here we go. There it is. There's a picture that Amber went to her graduation. I think this was one of the big things that helped her case out. When they brought this lady out and they brought the other
Probably.
friend.
Where did she graduate from?
I don't know. That's a good question. You asking
And what
questions.
is she working now? Does she have a dental plan? Because she don't have no teeth.
Oh my god.
No, and I'm not being funny. Like, where is she working at? Like,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know
like,
where she's working.
How has your life changed?
I don't know where she's working. She said she cleaned up her life. I mean, you can look at her and you can tell that she was at one point. The connection's good now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks
And she had that half scarf on her head.
like she testified, and I think she was the last person. The mother. Did you see her mother though? Amber's mother testified.
No, I didn't
Oh my
see
god!
that.
Look
What
at
am I
that.
gonna say?
I just switched. I don't know if the stream is okay. I just switched the picture
Oh, no,
now.
I'm on my phone. I don't see it.
Okay. Well, her mother testified, Karen Guyger, and the mother was talking about that Amber got sexually abused when she was a child.
Oh, here we go.
So like she was with the father. They broke up. Things didn't work out. So she goes and gets a boyfriend. You know, the typical story, and that she was molested at the age of 5 or 6. So they threw
For
that
how
in
long?
there. They said it. I think they said it happened like 3 times, and that like she found out one morning or something like that. They didn't even go into depth into it. I think the mother didn't do nothing good for the testimony. If you could see the mother now, you have to check it out later. Amber Guyger's mother. She looks like in bad shape. She looks very like maybe she had a past history of drugs or something, or she's just an old lady.
Oh, really?
And then her sister didn't look
I
much
would-
better either.
That probably had more of a bad influence on Amber than being sexually abused because, yeah, I don't know. That to me, it was just like a polite shit show, but in a polite way.
Yeah.
It was just some BS. I don't know. A hot mess.
Yeah.
And then the officer that was combing her hair or fixing her hair was just like, oh my God.
I don't know. And then the judge, she used to be a police officer too, from what I hear. Judge Tammy Kemp.
The judge?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So
Well,
there's like a lot of
I don't
history.
know.
All that stuff goes in deep with these with the system.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I just think, we don't need to be distracted with that. We just need to black people need to start organizing because other groups organize, which they should. It's nothing wrong with organizing with your own people. And just start making, just making moves, and just start building together and supporting each other. But let me go.
Yeah, thank you for joining. I
But
appreciate
yeah,
it. I gotta maybe join you sometime on your
no,
channel
thank you
again.
for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just call on my show because I do
Yeah.
have callings too.
What's your?
And
You're
keep
the
doing
real
what you're
Dana,
doing.
right? The real Dana
Yes, the
on
real
YouTube.
Dana.
Yeah, check
Yes.
her out. Dana's a trip too. She'll go hard. I try to keep it clean, but Dana goes in.
I know.
Gonna get me in trouble out here. I need to start letting more loose, but
And you know what? Just be yourself. So, cause
yeah.
I just be myself. Sometimes I may go off the handle, and other times I just be mellow. It just depends on what day it is.
All right. Thanks.
So, but all right, I'll
All
see
right,
you
take
soon.
care. All right,
Bye
bye.
bye.
That was Dana. Oh man, I'm surprised. That was cool. She called in. I haven't spoken to her in a while. So I think, oh man, I don't know. This is what you get with illness. I posted a number. Oh yeah, I posted a number for you guys. I'm gonna stream for like maybe 10, 15 more minutes. If anybody else wants to call, share your thoughts. I really messed up tonight with the stream. That's why there's not many people in here. I tried to stream. It took like 5 or 6 tries. I had a lot of issues. So let me see. Oh, we got another caller. Let's take the caller. Here. All right, testing. Can you hear me? I think I might have messed something up. Testing. I think I messed up. Call back again. I hit the pound and I think I messed something up. Call right back. Or you know what? I'll call the caller back. How about that? If I can. Can I call him back? I think I see it there. Call back, Carla. Call back. Okay, here we go. Streaming issues. Okay. Testing. Okay, here we go. Let me call this guy back. That was Chris. Okay, let's call him. Oh, I did the wrong number. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to have to try that app out that Dana was talking about. Blog Talk Radio. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay. Can you hear me? Is this Chris?
Yeah, this is Chris.
Okay. I still hear ringing. What do I hear? Oh, no, there we go. Okay, I think we're good.
Hello?
Yeah. All right. Can you hear me good and clear?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, man. Welcome to the show. How you doing? Thanks for bearing with me, man. I had a really hard time tonight setting this up.
Oh, it's all good, man. I just wanted to say, man, I just feel like it's a disgrace what his brother did, man. I mean, I understand he got base and stuff, but I just feel like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. Like, that's his brother, man. I just don't get it. Like, forgiveness or whatever. It was cold-blooded murder in my eyes.
Damn.
I believe it's more to the story. I believe it wasn't just she went to the wrong house. I believe she had a vendetta against him for playing music. She just didn't like all the stuff they brought out about her being racist and stuff. Man, I just don't know how he could sit there and hug her and just tell her that he loves her and stuff. I just don't get it, man.
Wow.
At all. I really
So
don't get it.
the thing, what about like the 10-year sentence? I mean, the jury decided the 10 years, which is kind of crazy. They decided the murder charge, but then they went for the 10 years, and it was mostly people that were minority.
I know. I feel like in the minority community, it's too much it's too much forgiveness.
Right. That's what I hear a lot of people say.
Too much forgiveness. Like, I mean, I understand. Like, we are forgiven. Minorities are forgiven, but it's just like in a situation like this, 10 years. There's people in prison right now who have marijuana charges and have 6-7 years. There's a lady I read that voted when she was a felon and got 5 years for voting, and she gets to murder someone in their own home, and they bring all this stuff, and she only gets 10 years. It's just maybe we're too forgiving sometimes.
Right.
That's how I look at it, because I could never like hug someone and tell someone I love them, and they murder my brother. That's just how I was raised. Maybe different, but I just.
All right. Did I lose you? I think I might have lost him. I figured out something that's going on. There's a flaw in the system that when I get a call, it drops the connection. I just realized that was happening, so I re-enabled it. Let me see. Let me call Chris back to get his final thoughts, and then there was another caller that called in, I think. Okay, we got somebody calling. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta fix this. I think I'm gonna call it a night. We'll call it a night. Let's see. Can we recover this? Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. There's two things that I really need to fix. Because what happens is when I'm getting these calls, it's dropping the connection. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It was a really messy show tonight. Can I pick this up? It looks like somebody's trying to call. 313 is calling. Let's see. And now we're getting the drop frame rates again. All the issues are coming back, huh? Let me see something.
And over again, that most black people hate white people.
Private number.
And it's been going on now for the last 70 years or so, give or take, ever since the so-called civil rights movement started. And in most...
Testing. Can you hear me?
Why?
Why what?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Go.
Having a rough night here with this whole connection thing.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on the Amber Guyger situation?
I just had a friend of mine, she called me from Arkansas and, wished me happy Valentine's Day. And she says it's been a crazy winter there. I'm on YouTube and they prank call me all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So what is this a troll call? Is this a prank call? Is this my first prank troll call? Is this my first prank troll call?
Can we have sex?
The trolls! Bring the trolls!
Wow. Is that right?
Oh, you're using a soundboard. You gotta troll better than that if you're gonna troll.
No. This isn't a recording.
Damn, bro. You know how many better voice things there are? Hello.
Is that right?
You know what the funny thing is oh, there it is. All right, there we go. So we got our first troll call. That was really weak though. Let me play Jesse Lee. Let's play Jesse Lee.
It's been going on now for the last 70 years or so, give or take, ever since the so-called civil rights movement started. And in most black people's mind, this includes the so-called Christians and others, in most black people's mind, it's time to pay back white people. It's not about love, because blacks don't love white people, right? It's about brainwashing, demoralizing, dumbing down. And in their mind, they're paying back the white people for slavery. And Jim Crow is so-called racism. Even though racism doesn't exist, it never has. And the people who are paying white...
Let me see if I can take this guy back. 313.
Call from.
Testing. Can you hear me? What's up, man?
Can you hear me, man?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, it's HB2N.
Calling into the screwed up show that can barely run, man. On this Metro connection. I'm on a Wi-Fi hotspot outside McDonald's. Welcome.
You getting it together, man. You doing your thing. This thing is crazy, man. But everybody thinks this is like a race thing. I think this is more of like honestly, I think it's more of a feminist thing. I think this lady may have been like really like a psycho type killer type thing, and she like killed this dude randomly just because she could. You know what I mean? Like she thought she could get away with it. I think what really started making me think that was, her mom's testimony for one. What was even the point of bringing up her sexual abuse as a child if it wasn't, unless the mom knew what her motive was for it in the first place, which is probably, just some vengeance against a male. And then, you look at her, her like, sexual promiscuity.
Yeah.
Just her whole lifestyle. Just, I mean, she might be like, the one of the first of her kind. There really aren't too many female, like, serial killers or,
there's quite not as many as men, but there's a good list, man. Like, or you could see the.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. You're probably right, but usually it's usually because of like some type of abuse. A lot of times the guys, it's like social abuse or like, but I don't know, like just randomly killing people. And, I think she picked somebody not just because he was black, just because he was vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like she knew, who she could kill and get out of here. And I don't know. This just doesn't feel like a race thing. Like it's more of like I'm just talking about her motives. Now, why she got away with it too? That plays to it too. You know what I mean? Like they basically played all the feminist angles that you can play to make you feel some type of sympathy for this woman. They brought out all her friends. You know what I mean? Showing how good of a person she was. Brought her moms out. Played the whole. Tried the judge basically throwing her every type of alley oop you could think of.
Yeah, the judge did.
Like, man.
The judge. I was just really surprised that the jury decided on the sentencing. I was like, a lot of people still don't know that. A lot of people are still thinking the judge gave that sentencing, and it was the jury.
Well, I mean, the jury is, they can only go on what's presented to them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but they could have gave more years.
It's structured.
Right.
That's true too. But for them to give her more years, they would need to be able to figure out a motive, and that's the issue. They don't have a
They
motive.
don't have a motive for sure. That's the problem. You're right. There really is no motive.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think there is a motive for this. This is like this is something new. You know what I mean? Like this is some cold blooded type psycho stuff, man. But I don't know.
Well,
but I do think that, like, the jury, the judge, media, they haven't really figured out what the motive is. But I think her family and her friends, they knew what the motive was.
You think so?
Yeah.
They know more.
Oh yeah, big time.
There's got to be stuff they left out because they didn't bring in that lady Bunny to testify, which I thought was weird. They shut her down. She lost her job. Yeah. They did everything to take that woman out.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, there's definitely more to this, but I think that the angle is what they really don't want to push for. That this is some, I don't know. This might be a new breed of, guys in general, gotta protect yourself out here.
No, you do. There was this one guy that was kind of a weirdo, but he used to send me all these videos of woman killers. But he was like obsessed, like sending me all these pictures on Facebook. He probably still does now, but like daily videos every day. This one. I was like, damn. He was like saying that there's a war against men and all, but he was like kind of creepily obsessed into it. So
I believe. I mean, when you look at it, it's going to that direction. Like it gets worse and worse. Like I feel like there's less and less sympathy for men nowadays. There's more hate against men, especially white men. But like they just pretty much showed you that you can kill a black man with no motive and you get 10 years, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did you hear about this guy, Sexy Vegan? I know it's off topic. Weird looking dude. I'm showing people in the chat. He's being accused of sexually assaulting his dog. Weirdo looking guy, man.
Oh my god.
He was on the Dr. Phil show. That's what these people do to get attention. Take a look at this guy. Shaved his eyebrows. Has some tattoos. It says Sexy Vegan. Walking around in just shorts or boxers or whatever that is. Some panties or whatever it is. Sexually abusing his dog. It's all over the news. Happened recently. It's a weird guy.
Is he going to jail for that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. He actually changed his name legally too. They're saying here to Sexy Vegan.
Wow.
So I don't know what's gonna happen, but
some of these white guys are just crazy out there, man. That is some weirdo type stuff. But that's what they into. And I'm not surprised that the media is putting this out there too.
Which part? Amber Guyger or the vegan dude?
The vegan dude.
Oh yeah.
It's all part of the pan, like the pansexual. They want to show every type,
The gender thing is just getting crazy. Like the whole thing where they want to force you to use these weird pronouns that they're not even she or he or whatever. It's like they, their, or zar, whatever the hell. And I don't even know if you heard recently too in New York that now they're forcing people. Well, you're not allowed to say illegal alien. They'll you like a $500 fine or something like that. Illegal.
Hey, that's how it is in the big cities, man. There's a lot of.
Oh, never mind. $250,000. It's on CNN. Illegal alien. Man. So can you imagine? Let me tell you how interesting is that, right? That the N word, right, is not banned or whatever, but you could say illegal alien and potentially get fined $250,000. I mean, the irony in that to me.
It's crazy. That's wild,
Mm-hmm.
man. They really trying to protect those people, man.
It's for votes. Yeah, they know that they're growing in numbers, so whatever they can do to protect the vote.
This is sad, man. It's so messed up how bad we've been manipulated, man. You know, like it's crazy, but it's sad. Just people can't, they're not really waking up to seeing things, and people don't really want to think things for themselves either. Kind of look at things differently.
Well, the thing that's going on with cops too, man, is like I saw on Jesse Lee Peterson's show where people are like attacking cops in public. They were like walking up and attacking them with balloons of water, buckets of water, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I can't imagine, man. I would not want to be a cop. Eventually, being a police officer is something that nobody's gonna want to do or be. I don't even know how people still apply for that job, man. It's big hatred, man. Everybody hates him.
Yeah, no, I've talked to a couple, man. Like, honestly, most cops do it for more than just the check, Like, a lot of them do believe that they're making a change out there. So,
yeah.
I mean, for some of them, the bad press and all of that just kind of comes with the job. That should just show you what type of people these people are,
Yeah.
Like,
oh man,
I could never be a cop, but I low key I respect them for what they do because I could never do it.
Right.
But at the same time, they do protect each other, the good ones and the bad ones, and that is an issue. And I think part of her sentencing is because she's a cop, that she is being protected.
Right. Yeah. Well, the other thing too is Amber Guyger, of course, killed both of them, his family, his friends. All those people are affected. Their lives are never going to be the same. But the other thing too is that I'm not trying to say sympathy, because I guess it comes with it, but like her family's life is messed up too, because I heard they were getting like death threats and lost their jobs. Yeah. So like whatever actions she took affected a lot of people.
That's true, but at the same time, like Star always says, they white, they'll be alright, man. Like give it a couple months, they'll be getting jobs, and you better believe there's probably some GoFundMe out there for Amber Guyger.
I think I heard there was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's probably got like 6 figures in it already. Like, don't like, if one thing, there is a group of white folks that will support, white people, good or bad. That's one thing that they do. So, especially the police. Especially when they kill somebody black.
Yeah.
They're gonna support it. So
all right, man.
It is pretty messed up. Yeah, man. Hey, I just had to give my little.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining in, man. Hopefully, I'll fix things up in the future. I'm still gonna make the dedicated videos, but once in a while, jump on stream and get people to join in. So.
Hey, yeah, salute to you too for getting that troll. You got a troll early.
Yeah, that was good.
That's what's up, man.
The thing is, the sad thing is they weren't good though. It would have been something if it was like entertaining. That would have been good, man. Could have used it for a clip or something, but it was somebody just playing
like
clips.
He was like a heroin troll. I think he just shot up, and he was like, "Let me call this motherfucker."
Some people calling screaming or cursing. That would have been entertaining, or saying some crazy wild stuff, but it was nothing.
Or the gay trolls. The gay trolls.
Oh, the gay trolls. Those are funny. Yeah. I remember one time. I think it was a long time ago. Somebody was telling him. I think they were telling him to go check out Grindr because he was looking for an app. And they didn't know. He didn't know that that's what it was. So he was like, "All right, I'm gonna check it out."
Yo, sometimes you like forget how old he is. Sometimes he shows his age, and those be the funniest moments, man.
I was dying laughing. Everybody was like, "Yeah, go check out Grindr, man. Go check it out."
Yeah, I think I remember that too.
That was so funny. He has a really good. He's pretty
Yeah.
entertaining, man. I still check his show out now. He pulls big numbers.
Man, yeah. I can't miss one of his shows. It should be too lit. Yeah, man.
All right, man. Thanks for checking in, HB.
Yeah. Take care, man.
All right, you too, man. Take care. Peace.
Salute.
All right, that was HB. I know Christopher wanted to call back. I don't know if Christopher is still there. The people that are modding in the chat room too, I'm pretty open-ended. You can let people, if they disagree or curse, whatever. If it's too crazy, then you can. If Christopher is still there, you want to call in, man, or you want me to call you, just let me know. In the meantime, while I wait, I'm open for Christopher, but let me play this.
Trying to pay white people back.
This is JLP. JLP's crazy.
I've never known Jim Crow or slavery. They've been lied to about those issues, right? But because they're coming from imperfect parents, out of wedlock birth and homes where the mothers are running the homes and not the father, the mothers are in charge of the families and not the fathers, and the so-called corrupt black leadership is out there brainwashing the education.
I think that's Christopher now. Let's see.
Call from
Chris.
All right, Chris, I think we got you back. Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Sorry about earlier, man.
But,
I was having
hold on,
some
let me pause
issues.
this 'cause I can't
Okay.
hear you. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you good now.
Yeah, man, but I don't know. It's just lately, man. I got sons and stuff, man, and
Oh, you
this
do?
really hit me because it just worries me, because the way the world is going, and it's just hard being a minority, and I just don't see how, if you look at any other, like a lot of a race of people, they're not so forgiving. It's like, why are we so forgiving, and we're the ones who's always at the wrong end of the stick, man. That's how I look at it. That's why when I seen today, when I was coming off the drilling rig, and I seen that, I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that the brother was so forgiving. I understand he's Christian, I was raised Christian, but no matter what, I couldn't do it. There's it's just too forgiving. Even there was a guy in my town where his 4-year-old son got murdered by a gang member, and he wasn't a part of a gang, and he ended up saying publicly that he forgives the guy.
Oh wow.
I just don't get it. That's really I just don't get it. It just I don't know.
I wonder
And
if that's like a
I didn't
coping
know that the
mechanism or
jury was
something.
I didn't know the jury was well, not all, but 8 of them were minority, and it just, they're 10 years is just, that still just boggles my mind.
Right.
know?
Right.
10 years. Just
So it bothered you when the
crazy.
brother hugged Amber Guyger. I mean, you saw that the judge came in and hugged Amber Guyger also.
Yeah, it bothered me with that. That bothered me. It bothered me when I don't know if you've seen the video where the bailiff lady was like stroking her hair.
No, I keep hearing people talk about that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, if you look, there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Philip. I think it's the Advice Show.
Oh, Phil the
Look
Advice
at
Show.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just posted it about 10 hours ago. If you get a chance, you can see it there. But it's crazy. She's like rubbing her hair, like after the verdict, not after the sentencing, but like after the verdict, rubbing her hair like it was her daughter, trying to console her. Like, this is crazy. Like, she's still alive. Yeah, she got 10 years, but nothing's gonna happen to her in jail. Which, you know what I'm saying? It's like, she's a cop. They're gonna be protecting her. Like.
Right.
And I guarantee you, people, like how you kind of said that about the family, that they're getting death threats and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is wrong because it's the family's fault. But I guarantee you, if they put up a GoFundMe account, that they'll get millions of dollars from people because they're like, just like that cop who did got fired for the Eric Garner murder. He got $200,000 raised for GoFundMe. Like. Crazy.
Wow.
It's nuts. Wow.
What do you think that, like, how much time do you think she should have got? Like, Like, what would have satisfied you? I mean, or you thought would be decent or appropriate?
At least 20 years, man. 10 years, and she be able to get out in 5. That's like
Yeah, because that's the
eligible
thing.
for.
Yeah, she'll be eligible for parole after 5 years, I believe. That's for what I heard half the time. So
Yeah, that's
potentially,
nuts.
and then the thing is, if we think about this for the parole, let's say the brother comes, and let's say there's other family that feels, sympathetic or whatever, they could go to that parole hearing. So she could potentially be out in 5, if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I'm saying that's crazy. And like how you said that you seen, I wonder what she told the brother. Like I just like that. That's the main thing that gets me. It's like this lady, no matter like whatever happened, supposedly she thought it was her, the wrong apartment. I know people make mistakes, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But I believe it wasn't. I believe it was something else. And for you to just, there's no faith, there's nothing that I could have inside of me that she killed my brother, like, and he did nothing wrong, and he hugs her and consoles her, and then says, "I love you." Like,
Yeah, that was
wow.
yeah.
And then how you were saying, like how they held off some witnesses, like I think some of it is just a set, like just because she was a cop. But then when you look at it, it's not always about the cop. That's why I always bring it back to the race. I don't like always bringing up the race, but that cop that he was like, I think he was African, or I don't know if he was African.
Oh, I know
or
who you're talking about. Yeah.
And he killed the white lady, and he got life. I don't know if he got life, but I know he got like 30 years or something.
Yeah.
And he was a cop. Like it's always about just a cop. It's about that she was crying tears and all this sad fake tears, and like there's posts on her Facebook where she's being racist and talking about Martin Luther King, when will this end, and when he's dead, he like it's crazy. It's wild. It just goes to show you that the system is broken, and it'll never get fixed when we always try to forgive people and just let it keep happening. It's just
Let me ask you, what do you think about? Because the jury decided, which I thought was really fascinating too, that the jury decided the sentencing. So, and it was mostly minority people on that jury that decided that for the 10 years.
Yeah. But that goes back to what I was saying when I first called about minorities being forgiving.
Right.
If you know, every single time someone of mainly black people get killed, the mom is always like, "Oh, I forgive them," and all this. Like, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's wild. It mind boggles me. I couldn't forgive nobody who murdered my son. I couldn't forgive nobody who murdered my brother. I couldn't forgive somebody if they did something to my daughter or something. I could never forgive someone. I'm a minority, so I'm black. So it's just I just don't get it. It just mind boggles me. But if you really look at it, you never see other races do that. Why is it always black people forgiving people? Oh, we forgive you. Like, that's what it all boils down to. We're too forgiving. We never stand up for one another. It's just.
Well, that's the thing. You know what? My observation too. I feel like just attacking each other all the time, like taking each other down, tearing each other down, the most out of any other groups of ethnicities that I've seen. Some people consider me black. I'm Dominican, so there's whatever you want to consider me. But as from what I've seen, like the black community seems to tear each other down the most. You can even look on here on YouTube. Like there's a section of YouTube. Like they just like, I know part of it's entertaining and some of what it is, but I've never seen and if there is another somewhere on YouTube or another area that people of the same ethnicity do it to each other, I would like to see it. Somebody show me, but I've never seen the black community, any other community, tear each other down like the black community. That's what I've seen. Like, I mean, and I'm not talking about like jokes, whatever. I'm talking about put your address out there, get you fired, put your parents' information, your grandparents out there, like to really literally try to destroy you over some internet stuff.
We can never come together. It's crazy. It's like it's like for so many hundreds and hundreds of years we're still treated a certain way by every other race. But when it comes to our race, it's the same thing. We down each other, like you said. We put people's address out. We try to get people fired. It's crazy. It's just like this love and hip hop type stuff. It's like that's entertaining people, and it's ignorant. It's ignorant. It makes black people look stupid. It makes black people look dumb. It's just like nothing's ever gonna change if we never could fix ourselves. You know, we gotta. I mean, don't get me wrong. We get racism done by other races and stuff. You know, but it's like mainly we gotta come together ourselves to show them that no matter what, we're gonna always be together. And it's not about hating another race. It's about just like a lot of my friends that I grew up with were Mexican, and they have no matter what, behind closed doors, they can hate each other and talk down about each other.
Right.
But in public or just a persona, they're together.
Right.
Regardless, they're together. Like, why can't we be like that? And we're strong. Like, we're strong. Like, black people are strong. Just like I just feel like the main thing is black people don't have a culture. That's what it is. We have a culture in a sense, but we don't have an actual culture. Because, like, slavery days, you know, a black person was taught by the white person, so they never had a culture. You know, we might have African culture. We say we have culture, but we don't represent it. We don't do nothing. We just follow just what we were taught years ago. You know, that's why I teach my kids to love their skin, to love their color. Don't let nobody talk down about you. Don't let nobody, you know, just, I don't know. It just seems like it's just scary for me because I got 2 sons and a daughter, and I worry about the future for black people. And like when you say you're Dominican, I believe you're black too.
Yeah, no, a lot of people tell me that. Let me tell you, most people that are white or whatever, when they look, they think they just see me as black. That's how they most see me. So,
I black too. Like,
but I don't believe that.
Hey man, like on the good note though, I always watch the videos, man, and I like them, everything, man. You
appreciate
I
that,
liked
man.
when you were born with the child thing, like
when,
like how you all these people doing something like man, and you weren't afraid to like put it out there, man. It's just, man, you're a good channel, man. And I hope we start getting bigger and
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Like tonight, because usually like I have to get up at 3 a.m. here in California.
Oh yeah.
And,
oh wow.
But yeah, I was like when I was like, I gotta call and at least talk and say something, man, because every day I have your notifications on, but every day I still look to see if you posted something new or something, and I'll be telling people about you. My brothers subscribe to watch you, you know. So it's like, you, man, I really like your channel, and then from jump, man, you follow this from jump. Like a lot of people forgot about it, and you always came with something new. It's just and no matter what, you keep it real. Like you keep it real. Just like when you just even said that people in the street in the comments, if they disagree with you, don't kick them. Like a lot of people on live, if you disagree with me, kick them or
I like to try to let it go most of the stuff. Unless somebody's like threatening somebody's life, I kind of like to let the comments go in there. But YouTube is getting really strict too now. They're censoring us. They're censoring everything. They're holding us accountable for what people say now in the comments. It's kind of crazy.
There's another guy I watch. His name's Young Farrell, and
I heard of that.
Posted a video. Yeah, he posted a video about how YouTube was getting, man, and it sucks because a lot of people, this is their living. I'm lucky. I was on YouTube, but but I operate heavy equipment, so I mean that's my living.
Oh,
I could do
okay.
that. But what about the people who live off of this? Like it's
Oh yeah,
crazy. It's like
forget about it. It's destroyed some people.
freedom of speech is like I'm 32 years old, and when
Okay.
I was younger, it was nowhere near the way it is. Like it's crazy. Like how
Oh, it's different.
like how you were saying about people you can't call. I'll be nervous to tell a person yes sir, yes ma'am, and they get mad and say they're not a ma'am or a sir.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. We used to say all kinds of stuff before. We used to use the
Yeah,
word
it's like how you
retarded,
said,
and now it's
yeah,
like a really
just like how you
offensive
said
word.
about the N-word, about how like they said about illegal alien, but if you say the N word, it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's a great term that since back in the day, but people still say it and just just like our race of people, we shouldn't say it. You know, I was raised saying it, and I stopped saying it about 3 years ago because I was raised saying it because
I
just
used to
in
say it
my
all
house.
the time too. I used to say because that's how we grew up too, and all different people of ethnicities and colors. That's how we grew up. And then I got older, and I started realizing a lot of people would get offended, especially the mother of my child.
Yeah.
She didn't like that. So
It's just I don't know. I just feel like whenever we stop being so nice to other races and start being able to love ourselves and love our race and fight for each other and stop recording when people are getting beat and maybe try to help or
yeah,
crazy, man. Wow.
it's true.
But thank you for taking my
No,
call.
thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna knock out.
All the way from
And,
Cali.
hey, hopefully you do another live stream, and man,
All
maybe
right.
I can call in.
Yeah,
and talk
thanks,
and,
man. I appreciate you. I had a really rough time tonight,
man,
so
keep
I
up the
appreciate
good
it.
work. Like literally, keep up the good work, man. You were like in my top 5 channels.
Thanks, I appreciate
number
that.
1.
I saw
For real,
Young
like,
Pharaoh on Jesse Lee Peterson's show one day. That's how I first heard of him. And he's a big YouTuber, but he does some good work.
Yeah, he does. He does some good work, man. He don't sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like. I mean, just keep it real. And like he'll say, like one thing he said that like opened my eyes. He's like, there's racist cops, but there's gang banging black people. He like, how do you expect a cop to walk in your neighborhood and you're wearing a hoodie and expect them not to think you're a gang member? But then how does a cop expect a person not to be scared when they walk into the car when there's cops killing people?
Yep.
It's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth. That's one thing he said that always stuck with me. Because, when a cop pulled behind me, I've never been arrested. I've been a good person. I messed up when I was younger, but I've just never been arrested. And I got kids, but it's like when a cop pulled behind me, I get nervous. I tell my sons, keep your hands up, and don't move around. And it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
And just like it's crazy when I go to my cousin's house who live in a gang neighborhood. I'm not a gang member, but I kind of get nervous like when I see somebody walking by with their hands in their pocket, and it's just it's double standard. It's just like it's crazy, man. It's nuts. It's just like it seems like the world is never gonna get better. That's why it scares me. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say is they are trying to take the man out of everything.
Oh yeah.
It's the truth.
Oh yeah, forget it. That's a whole nother. We'll probably need to have a video on that someday and talk about that. They are.
Oh, if you
they're
do,
changing the whole.
I got a lot to say about that. Like I'm not super crazy like some of these people be, but it's real, man. It's just like men have no say so in anything, even when it comes to your kids. It's like the woman is always the one who always looked at. And like one of my friends said this is like, so you're in a house and a murderous pedophile breaks in your house and tries to do something to your kids, and the woman is there with no weapon. Is she gonna be able to protect him like a man will? Which I mean, you never know. That woman comes to know some type of something, but 9 times out of 10, that man is gonna be able to protect that. But they look at men like we're nothing just because we didn't carry the kid. But without the sperm, there will be no baby, and without the egg, there will be no baby either. So it should be 50-50. There was a kid in my town. The girl was 16. He was 17. She didn't want the baby. She had the baby. He begged the court, begged them for her not to be able to give the baby up for adoption. And just because they weren't married, she got to give his daughter up for adoption. And he didn't have it.
That's
Like,
insane.
it's crazy.
I believe
nuts.
it. That's insane, though.
Crazy.
Thank God.
But, all right, man.
All right, man. Thanks again, Chris.
Stuff, you know, I gotta get to this bed, but hey, thank you for taking my call again. And if you ever do another live stream, I'm gonna get the notification, and I'm gonna call in. And if you ever do a video about the masculine man, I'm ready to.
All right, appreciate you, man.
When all boils down to it, keep up the good work.
All right, man. Take care. Have a good night, man.
Have a great night.
All right, you too. Thanks. That was a nice call, all the way from California. Let me play this clip real quick, hopefully before somebody calls. I should be going to bed soon, but let me play this. Oh. This was Botham Jean's mother,
September 6,
the reaction.
2018 changed my life, changed my family's life, changed my country, changed my church. And I know that there are many people who stood with me and my family throughout this tumultuous journey. Yesterday, we saw the conviction of Amber Guyger, and today we heard the sentence of 10 years in prison. That 10 years in prison is 10 years for her reflection and for her to change her life. But there is much more to be done by the city of Dallas. The corruption that we saw during this process must stop. And it must stop for you. Because after now, I leave Dallas, but you live in Dallas. And it must stop for everyone. The contamination of a crime scene that we saw coming out of this case is one that must never happen again. The poor training or the poor use of what should have been training is what we see coming out of this case. That should never, ever happen again. And if this was applied in the way that it ought to have been taught, my son would have been alive today. If Amber Guyger was trained not to shoot in the heart, my son would be standing here today.
He was no threat.
He was no threat to her. He had no reason to pose a threat to her because he was in his own apartment, in his sanctuary, in the place in which he paid a lot of money to be in. He paid rent to be there. He had every right to be there in whatever state he was in. Yet still, his privacy was violated. She intruded on him. And that was not enough. She killed him.
Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
Our life must move on. But our life must move on with change. There's got to be a better day. And that better day starts with each and every one of us. The city of Dallas needs to clean up inside.
Amen.
The Dallas Police Department has a lot of laundry to do. The Texas Rangers need to know who's on board. And every single one of you, citizens of Dallas and residents of Dallas, need to know what to do to get your city right.
That's right.
Thank you.
An extraordinarily powerful statement from the mother of Botham Jean, Allison John. Again, that happened in the last 15 minutes or so at the courthouse, the Frank Crowley Courts building in downtown Dallas.
That was a reaction. I heard another statement that she made too, but I forgot. There was one part of this thing that I thought was a little bit annoying. But I honestly don't know that I'll find it in here. It was one of the priests or pastors when he spoke. There's the mother. Let me see. Is it possible to even find this? No. This guy spoke at one point, and I was so annoyed when he spoke. Because his cell phone started ringing. And he knew it was a cell phone, and instead of just silencing his cell phone during that press release, he kept like fiddling around with it. Then he picked up his cell phone and looked at it and then silenced it and then continued on with the speech. I was like, this dude needs to get off. Oh, here, let's take a look at this real quick. This was the people outraging. They were pissed off.
It's so disrespectful to the mama and the daddy.
They have him, and they should have seen him to have kids and get
Not
married
right at
and
all.
go on. But no, a police, because they got a badge on, they can get this. These fucking cameras
Ooh,
get me.
damn.
Police officers.
Drop the
There's
F-bomb.
a woman in there crying behind the trauma that this police department has the police department around the country has done to our people. This is not a joke. This is our lives. We're talking about something that we have to worry about for the rest of our lives. That woman
This
was
ain't the last time this
It
gonna
got
happen.
10 years.
It ain't the last time.
Maybe again. Maybe
Here's the guy.
That's what I say. It ain't the last.
So let me tell you something. Texas doesn't play. Texas does not play. This guy's an idiot. I'm sorry. The audio, by the way, is messed up on this. I only hear it coming through one headphone. So on the playback, what they're playing is messed up. But here's this guy's cell phone going on. So now he's shuffling with his cell phone, right?
Also serve as
Still shuffling, bro. If you're gonna make a speech, if you're in anybody knows to silence your phone, especially when you're gonna speak publicly.
the chairman of the Dallas.
Still searching for it. Okay, notice the look on this guy's face. One of the lawyers. I mean, it's can you just imagine in a moment like this, a press release? This dude's seriously still looking. So like, he literally stopped to check the message. I'm like, bruh.
Dallas area preachers and church leaders, and I have a
Bruh.
prepared statement.
I gotta take it back a little bit.
Black man does not have the same chance that an armed white man have in America, and we would like to see a totally different. I'm Sammy Berry, minister of the Dallas West Church of Christ, and I also serve as the chairman of the Dallas
Oh my
area.
god. And he stops talking everything, staring at his phone. Who does that?
Dallas area.
I'm just like, yo.
And I have a prepared.
I saw that. I was literally sitting at my desk, and I was listening to this guy talk, and I heard the phone going off and all that stuff. He was his pastor, and I literally said out loud, he's an idiot. I was just like, this guy's an idiot. I was at my desk, and I said, this guy's an idiot. I was just like, oh man. But I guess he's old school, old time. Maybe that's, I don't know. I was like, bruh. I mean, you gotta look at when I looked at the lawyer's face, he looked so annoyed.
Preachers and church leaders, and I have a prepared statement that I have prepared that I'd like to read. The verdict in this case is.
Was there any other moments I could think of? If you haven't seen this, hey Joystick, I'm about to go to bed soon. I came back. It's very unprofessional for sure. I came back on I've been streaming for. How long have I been on? An hour and 50 minutes. I thought I was on for an hour. Yeah, I need to go to bed. If you guys haven't seen Botham Jean's Friends and Family, you need to check it out. His father came on today too. It was a really good thing if you want to learn a little bit about both of them. The other thing I was learning about Amber Guyger, the father never came on her behalf. Neither did her brother. I don't know if the father's still alive or not, but her brother didn't come on her behalf either. So I thought that was a little weird. Those are the closing statements. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I should call it a night. I'm really clogged up. So, oh, you know what? We'll end it off on Jesse Lee Peterson. This is what Jesse Lee Peterson said about this today.
Education system and
Some of
all
it. I'm not going to play the whole video.
Black people to be angry. And the blacks don't, most, not all, because some are definitely waking up. They're not seeing that they're being used. The only purpose for most black people on earth today is for destruction.
Oh my God.
For the so-called leaders, physical leaders, to use them to gain power or wealth for themselves. For the children of the lie to use them, you know, the radical homosexuals, radical Black Lives Matter, the radical Democratic Party. They're only baby killers of the unborn children. Blacks help those things to happen. I don't know of any case since the Civil Rights Movement where majority of black people stood for good. I wish that someone could tell me a time from the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement until this day when majority of black people stood for good. They promoted what's good, what's right. It just, I don't know of any time. I don't know of any time where black people, majority have been building, but destroying. And I've been saying it for a long time because I hope that someone would tell me, well, it's not true. Here's an example of most black people building and standing for good. I don't know of a time within the last 60 to 70 years when blacks have not stopped begging for free stuff. Affirmative action, more government money, let me into your school without earning it. Now they want more reparations. The men and the women. The men are not leading the way. It's a payback, white folks, to you. And you're not guilty of what they're mad about because you had nothing to do with their father and mother making babies out of wedlock. And the angry mother raising angry children. New York Times, here's an example of payback. New York Times is reported that Amber Guyger, ex-Dallas police officer, is guilty of murder for killing her neighbor. Some of you may have heard about this. A former officer Amber Guyger was charged in the death of her neighbor, Botham Jean, after she said she accidentally went into the wrong floor and went to the wrong floor of their apartment complex, entered the unit directly above her.
Chris Tree said, I have to interject for a second. How can the jury sleep at night? Let me tell you this. The jury, for their own safety, shouldn't come out public. They shouldn't speak their names or nothing. They shouldn't. Because I honestly, if I was them, I'd be afraid for my safety. Because Texas is pretty upset. Amber Guyger's family has already gotten threats. I think they've lost some jobs. Those people aren't playing. So, because sometimes people, after a case is over, they want to get the notoriety, or people want to get interviews. They want to ask the jury what were they thinking. This is one of those cases where I'd be cautious about coming out and saying who you are and if you were on this jury.
And fatally shot this guy last year, and we talked about this in my office. Is it possible to live in an apartment complex, thank you, Dave, and come home one day or night and walk on the wrong floor and into another building, apartment? So apparently Amber is saying, Amber is white, she's white, and the guy was black. He's black. And so apparently she went to the wrong floor, walked into the wrong apartment building. It was open, wasn't locked up, I think. And this guy was there. She shot and killed him. And payback time. Here is the news report on this from the Daily Mail.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Guyger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
The stunning verdict comes after an intense 7-day trial. Amber Guyger took the stand in her own defense, showing the jury how she walked into Botham's apartment thinking it was her own.
I never wanted to take an innocent person's life. I am so sorry.
Are you kidding? Assistant District Attorney Jason Fine didn't buy her tearful testimony.
We showed you how this was a reasonable mistake. It's not a mistake. It's a series of unreasonable decisions. He is shocked.
The trial now moves into the sentencing phase. Guyger could spend the rest of her life in prison.
When I saw that there was a black judge and majority of the jury were black, and this woman is white, and the man was black, I knew then she didn't have a chance. The angel from heaven could have come down and said,
So,
honest mistake. To those black people, it wouldn't matter. God himself.
So this was before Jesse made this video and stuff, before they heard about the sentencing. So he was saying because of the judge was black and the jury was mostly black, that Amber Guyger had no chance. But little did he know that the jury voted for 10 years, which is really, to me, that's a win for Amber's team. 10 years, that's a win for her team, because she could literally be eligible for parole in 5 years. And when we saw that the brother, Botham's brother, was very forgiving, and he gave her a hug, he said, "I love you." He said, "I don't believe you should even do time." That was a really big moment when they were hugging, you know, the moment of forgiveness, which some people thought it was amazing. Some people disagreed with it. Some people just saw it as he's a young guy and whatever.
Himself could have come down and said to them, "I'm God. I want you to know this white woman made an honest mistake. And remember that, right? It wouldn't matter. They don't care about God anyway, but the blacks don't, but it wouldn't matter.
This guy's loose.
It's payback for white people. So by allowing these people to sit on juries, allowing them to run the courthouse or whatever they're doing, it's over, white people. And it's unfortunate because you're allowing yourself to be set up to be destroyed. You won't accept the reality that most black people hate you. You haven't done
really
anything
deep.
wrong.
I have to agree. I personally think, and this is just my opinion, that moment where the brother came out and hugged her like that, I thought that was historical too. I mean, there was a lot of historical stuff happening because the judge came in and hugged Amber too, which they usually say judges don't do that. She gave the judge a Bible. I mean, that whole thing really kind of set the tone almost. That hug, that he forgives her. He said he can't speak for his family, but he speaks for himself. I thought that was really big. It was deep. I don't know. But at the same time, he is a young guy, you know? Sometimes younger people haven't gone through or seen or have the perspective of a older, mature person.
But they hate you because over the years they've been brainwashed. White people were, first of all, the blacks who complained about slavery and so-called Jim Crow, they don't know anything about it. And the ones who are lying to them about slavery and Jim Crow are doing it to use the blacks and about so-called racism. And by black people coming from an immoral mental state, it's easy to lie to them. It's hard to get them to see the truth, but
this guy is
easy to
triggering
get them to believe lies. So,
here's the part. The part's coming up that I wanted to show you guys. Let me see how far. Oh, it's right there. Less than a minute. He takes a jab at Botham Jean's mother. I was like, oh man, I saw this earlier today.
The door wasn't exactly open. There was a structural flaw to the door that made it easy to open. There's a black mayor, black judge, and 7 out of 12 jurors were black. And the woman was white. You think she had a chance? She had no chance. Remember the O.J. trial? Remember that? Remember the Michael Brown trial? It didn't matter. It doesn't matter to black people. The black so-called Christians and non-Christians alike, they don't care. They hate the whites. It's payback time, vengeance. But the unfortunate thing is, when you try to get back at someone, it comes back on you. So, that's a mad mama. She need to be in the gym. But
that was the job that I heard earlier today. I was like, oh man.
That's a mad mama. She need to be in the gym. But when you try to get back at someone, revenge, it come back on you. It really does. So the blacks they're never going to get better in life because of the anger, the hatred, and all that stuff. On the second day of deliberation, the jury rejected her defense and returned a rare murder conviction. The Jean family attorney, now here's another race hustler right here. Benjamin Crumps and Lee Merritt made a statement about the conviction. I want you to hear these race hustlers. Pay attention.
But this is a huge victory, not only for the family of Botham Jean, but as his mother Allison told me a moment ago, this is a victory for black people in America. Police officers are going to begin to be held accountable for their actions, and we believe that will begin to change policing culture all over the world. From this day forward, we're leading the way. We are pushing so that it is not rare, but that this is common, that justice continues to roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Yeah. Amazing. See how you put, I don't know what that means. It's dumb. But this is justice for all black people? How is that? This incident happened between two people. How is that justice for all people? So what they're doing, they're feeding the hatred to the blacks, that white cops hate black people, and this is a payback. That's what they're feeding the minds of black people.
Well,
and because most blacks, not all, do not think for themselves, they're going to fall for it. If I was white, I would not teach at a black school, or I wouldn't be a cop in a black community. I would resign before being a white cop in a black community. It's over for you cops. You'd really put your lives at risk. They don't care that you're there to protect the innocent, the decent folk from...
Well, that was JLP. That's a taste. You can check out his channel. He triggers a lot of people, pisses people off. Lacey messaged me. Okay, I'll message her back after the show. But I guess that's it, man. I don't know where to go from here. This was a really big case. I think what I'm going to try to do is, on my free time, I'm going to try to do some direct videos. Those are really effective. And cover some of the case piece by piece. Break some of it down. Because both of them, when I first started covering him, he was one of the biggest stories I covered on the channel. And then Malia Davis was after that, and before both of them was Jessica Reed and Charlamagne the God. But yeah, I think I'm going to make some dedicated videos, and I'd like to break down some of the testimony. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna break down some of the testimony and piece by piece, because what happens is a lot of people, they don't like to watch long format content or like too long. I like to usually get to the point. I don't like to do too long stuff. And also with the moderators, I think I'm gonna talk with them eventually so we can be on the same wavelength or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know why I have corned beef here as one of my top videos. How to cook corned beef. You'd be surprised some of the things that people look up on YouTube. I'm about to go to bed, but when I first started YouTube, I did a how to cook corned beef. Corned beef is one of the most simplest things to watch. Mel, please watch the video on his apartment. It's very detailed. Oh, which day was that, Sweet Tea? Can you tell me? I'm not gonna do it tonight, but maybe we can do another live stream, and next time I'll cover that. I'd like to check that out. There was this corned beef video, and then there was like another one. That was so weird. But you know, it was a funny thing. There was one on how to open corned beef. And you know, there's people commenting on there like, oh, that's so stupid. Why would you make a video like that? Who doesn't know how to cook corned beef? Who doesn't know how to open a can of corned beef? But look how many people looked up that video. 94,000 people. How to cook it. You'd be surprised. I don't know where the open the can thing went. Because it used to be one of my top videos. Maybe I'll take it down. Oh, here. 12,000 views. How to open corned beef. You'd be surprised. You think sometimes that's the problem, is you think something's so simple, why would anybody else be looking for it? I mean, that type of video wouldn't work for me now, but you'd be surprised. I like a lot of what JLP says, man. Well, JLP is really entertaining for me. I think what he says, that he has it on the nail to me personally, is what he says about the family, and fathers being in the home. I think that's the biggest thing that he hits on the nail. And I think also he has a really good way of debating. It's very I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, but thank you guys for being here for the stream, man. I'm gonna get some sleep. I'm congested. It's 12 a.m. I'm gonna get some rest. It's the old last year CNN. Okay, it's old from last year. CNN has one, and ABC News. Okay, all right. So maybe I'll put some clips together for next time. Thank you guys for being here, and I had a really rough night tonight. So sorry about all the confusion and everything like that. And thank you for all the people that called in. Have a good night. Take care. Peace. 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 And thank you, Dana, for joining, and HB. Make sure you check out Dana's channel, The Real Dana. I'll post it in a regular video next time.